All right, we are live streaming inside Game Changers Nation with my man William. William, what's up, my friend?
What's up, buddy? Happy Thursday.
Happy Thursday. So let's chat, man. So you've been here at EXP for 5 months. 5 months in, man. First, let's just take a step back and talk about why you joined EXP. Like where were you at in your real estate business? And why? Like, what problem were you trying to solve, or what goal did you have that you thought EXP could solve? So where were you, and what was your goal by joining EXP?
So the funny thing is that you had reached out to me about EXP 3 years prior, and I was just tunnel vision. At that point, Veronica and I were already doing well. So we were that kind of like any agents that we're having conversations with, right? We weren't open. Our gates weren't open at that point.
Yeah.
So fast forward 3 years later, you finally reached out in June, or actually May. And at that point, Veronica and I had just gone through hiring a buyer's agent. We taught her everything we knew. We gave her 24 leads, our personal sphere, and she learned the A through the Z's of real estate. And then she took that experience and then left. So that was painful for us. And we already knew by coaching with other people, Mike Ferry, you, Colton, BC, that we needed a coach in order to expand this out, right? If we really wanted to explode this business, get to 7 levels and get out. So we, after experiencing that loss of the buyer's agent, we said, okay, we need to be coached and get better leaders and figure this out. So we reached out to you this time around and said, hey, who's the best coach? Who's the best trainer for kind of blowing this thing up? And at that point, you said, that's Lars, Lars. Remember that?
Yeah.
And then I poked Veronica, my wife, by the way, Veronica's my wife. And I said, and we both do real estate full time. I poked her and I said, this is when AJ decides to do his pitch of EXP. But I caught myself thinking at that point, I said, you know what? We're going through his pain. So we need to be open-minded of everything. And then I made the connection. This is what I say to a lot of agents now. I made this connection. All the brightest minds, we're going to EXP. My coaches, my leaders are going to EXP. They make more money. They know more than me. I should probably be, open about the opportunity. So we watched it. And after, what they say. They say, if you watch it, you can't unwatch it. The funny thing is that Veronica and I, at our previous company before we joined EXP, we had already capped in February. So we had the whole year to stay at that company 100% commission. And then you come in actually I reached out to you and that happened in May. Why couldn't it happen in February? That would have been nice. Shit, but either way, we came to the company because we couldn't unsee what we saw and here we are.
That's cool, man. I actually remember the first conversation that we had perfectly because I was in Breckenridge for the winter snowboarding because of the residual income I was earning from revenue share. And Abby and I, this was end of 2018 probably, or beginning of 2019. Abby and I had just checked out a ski shop right next to a Starbucks, bought some new, got her like a sweater or whatever. And I think I got some new snowboard boots. And then we had the Starbucks right next door and it was dark out and I was in a noisy Starbucks. And I'm like, we were on that Zoom for probably an hour in that noisy Starbucks. And I'm so glad you guys are here now. So it's going to be a fun journey. So talk about a little bit, how many homes were you guys selling, or how many homes are you guys selling as a power couple?
Yeah.
And then let's dive into kind of your EXP success so far.
Last year, 55 homes, Veronica and I. This year, we'll probably end up at 70. And it's fun. We fucking we love real estate. We know how to do it at a high level now. We're really starting to turn that. And then I saw this model and I'm like, wait a minute. Okay, if AJ taught me what to do here in real estate and he's already doing this. And I like that revenue share, right? So we know how to sell real estate, to answer your question. So 70 deals this year. But yeah.
Awesome. And what's so cool, we've been friends now, probably since 2014, 2015.
Journey. Yeah.
And, life happens and, people kind of just go their separate ways, but you stay connected through social media and you might chat occasionally. But one of my favorite things about, I was just gonna say, one of my favorite things about EXP is like, now that you guys are here, because we're aligned in business partners, now we're chatting like on Voxer like every other day. And for me, that's the greatest reward at this point, because I just want cool people like you and Veronica to hang out with, and people that inspire me and get me excited about showing up at work every day, because you guys are rock stars, and I want to help you achieve your goals.
This is the beauty of the company, though, right? Too, as well, because we're all connected through that stock. The more I actually dove into this company, I really started to appreciate what this guy built, because we're all in this together. So it's in our best interest to help each other out. I just got off the phone before this call here with somebody in Canada. He's killing it with KV Core. He's giving me everything. In fact, he just did it within an hour, because everybody's connected through the stock, right? So the equity share program is valuable. The revenue share is valuable. Everything that this company offers is fucking valuable. We just got to use it, right? It's awesome.
That's the thing, man. What's easy to use is also easy not to use. And I think a lot of times there's so many great resources available from EXP and inside Game Changers Nation, that because people are getting it for free, essentially, they don't really plug into it. But I really admire you and Veronica, because you guys are always out seeking knowledge. You guys are asking great questions. You're implementing what you're learning, and you're practicing your skills. As we transition to the conversation around attraction, I just want to point out before I forget, like, I hopped on a three-way call with you like 2 weeks ago, and the initial part of the call, you're supposed to edify, basically brag on the three-way call expert. In this case, it was me. So William did an amazing job edifying me, and I could totally tell that he had been practicing and was probably even reading right off a script.
It was.
But it sounded so natural. Yeah, you were reading off a script, and it sounded so natural. And the only reason I knew you were reading off a script is because it was concise and it felt professional, like you knew what you were talking about and you had confidence.
Well, John and yourself.
When I get on three-way calls. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just, you're oftentimes probably people interrupt you or want to say something or add to the conversation. But exactly. John, Mikeash, and yourself, you guys been doing a great job of just showing us, don't try to recreate this shit. It's already here. Just use what we're saying. So that's exactly what we're doing.
Yeah. And it was great because, when it's short, concise, and to the point, and it's said with confidence, it just sets the whole three-way call up for success, versus the person kind of, being shy of what they're going to say because they don't know what they're going to say about me or about the prospect. And it's really a weak introduction. And it also sets the tone for the call, just not in a good way. So I just want to acknowledge you for taking this serious, treating it like a professional, and practicing your skill sets, just like you did in your real estate business. And that's how you went from 0 deals to nearly 70 this year in a matter of years.
I was just giving you props right now before we jumped on the call. Why did I give you props? On Voxer.
You gave me props on Voxer. Oh, for following up with being consistent and confirming this appointment that we're on right now.
So that was something that I just learned from our conversation recently. It's like, okay, there's a better way to even confirm, right? So just reach out to the leaders. You have to get out of that comfort zone and just reach out to these people that are already having success in this thing, right? Or anything. Just reach out. Don't be shy, and see where it goes from there. So I'm just following the path, and I'm reaching out to you guys. I don't care who it is. You're going to get me there faster, and you're going to help your stock at the same time. So you're welcome, and I'm thankful. You know what I mean?
That's it, man. So it's been 5 months since you joined EXP, and I spoiled it in the title, but you guys recruited 10 agents in the first 5 months.
Yep.
So talk to me a little bit, who are these 10 agents? Like, where are they coming from? What's your strategy in your approach? Are you calling them? Are you texting them? Are you emailing them? Talk just kind of a little bit about your strategy around that.
So I've taken the role of being the attractor. Veronica's keeping this business afloat. I'm still producing, but I said I'm going to slow down here so I could focus on agent attraction, and it's working out. Veronica's still contributing to that with the lunch and learns, and even reaching out to some people that she's got a better connection here locally. So we sell at a high level, so naturally we're going to bump into a lot of agents. And different areas we're having success, just like prospecting, cold calling, expire, whatever. Open houses have worked for us, or for me, I should say. I'm attracting some agents from there. But I'm also reaching out to my 100 list. So I created that the first week. That was first step one. Create your 100 lists, right? So we did that. We're going through that list over and over again. We have a CRM that we're following up. We created the lunch and learns. We got to get more consistent. I'll be honest with the lunch and learns itself, but it's a follow-up game, just like anything. Just like anything. So if you don't have a CRM, then use KV Core or get a system down and you got to reach out, get uncomfortable, right?
Yes.
But yeah.
Talk about the open houses a little bit. Are these agents that came into your open houses, or did you actually purposely go out and find some?
No, they came at our open house.
Okay.
I haven't tried the other way around, but we're having conversations there. It's like, great. Buyers and sellers are there, but at the same time, so are agents. Great opportunity to talk to agents.
That's interesting. I always looked at open houses from the perspective of, go preview properties on the weekend by yourself, show up, dress nice, smile,
100%.
Have some dialogue, get their business card, follow up. But you did the kind of reverse of that. You took that opportunity as, agents will come through with their buyers on a Saturday to your open house. You took the time to have a conversation. That's really cool. I never thought of that. That is a reason to start doing open houses, like get buyer leads and get agent leads at the same time. That's genius.
Because now you're building a better connection. Sometimes I'm cold calling agents. They don't know who I am. So I got a small little window to just try to convert that and form something there. Versus at the open house, it's intimate. We're here for the same reasons, to make money. Hey, if I could show you how to make more money quicker, bam. And that's how we just got somebody to join. But we're not lying to these people. We're genuine about it. You need to hear about this, right? So that's a great place to have conversations.
It's funny, like, and I've been in the place before where, you feel weird bringing up the conversation of EXP or you're hesitant to, or you don't because you're afraid of rejection. And what's so funny is, like, at the highest level in the world, this is how business gets done. Like, you have a high level person who asks another high level person if they'd be open in their opportunity, investing in their opportunity, partnering with them in their opportunity, whatever it might be, buying their services. Like, and yet in this, as agents, we shy away from asking other agents about EXP. And to me, it's just so silly. I mean, think about this for a second, man. Like, you guys are going to sell 70 houses this year. If you attract, say, 70 agents over the next 3 years, 2 years, whatever it takes, like, that could be, if they're the right 70 people, really, if like two out of the 70 are the right people, that could be financial freedom for the rest of your lives versus being on this transaction treadmill over and over and over and over. And, you guys have done well for yourself. I, just bought a great new house and you're killing it, man. 70 deals a year, you're killing it. But I know you guys want financial freedom, and that's
we're going to get.
You talked about the pain of the buyer's agent, learning everything and then kind of taking everything they learned and graduating and going on and do it on their own. And it's like, oh, well, that was kind of a waste of time and energy. But in our initial conversation, it was more like you guys had thought about opening offices. That was the initial conversation. You're like, who's a great coach that can help us expand our business, open additional offices, go independent. And I said, well, Lars is the best coach for teams and brokerages. However, before you start going into debt potentially, or at least spending all of your money opening offices, working 60 hours a week to get these offices off the ground, having to hire and manage employees and all this crazy stuff, let's just take a step back and review EXP again. And maybe this might be a better fit for you. Because I asked you, I don't know if you remember this, but I asked you guys, I said, what a version of this, what are you hoping to accomplish by opening these additional offices? When we had an open and honest conversation about really what your goals were, because, people, agents, their goal isn't to sell 100 homes a year. Like, surface level, that's the goal. But what is really the goal? In your case, it was to make a whole lot of money, build wealth so that you have freedom.
That's it.
And you discover that through our conversation.
We're like, shit, we're going to be slaves to this, right? Because constantly training, eventually you could hire somebody, but damn, it's going to be long. It's going to be long and painful.
Yeah.
So we saw rev share that attracted us. We said we connected the dots real quick.
And you guys are right on track, because it's 2 agents a month will get you to become a top attractor based on the numbers that I've seen. The vast majorities of top attractors over a 3 to 5 year period, have attracted 2 a month. I've attracted maybe, I'd have to look at my numbers again, but it's probably about 2 a month, maybe 2.5 a month. It's just, wow, dude, you're already on track. And before the call started, you're like, give Miriam a shout out. Kind of, she brought her team over. So you got her and she brought her team, and she's already doing what?
So one of her first lines just attracted their first line. So Miriam's third line. So that's exciting. Duplication. So it's nice. We're the way we're teaching everybody who joins us is keep it simple. If it duplicates, then that's what you want. If you can't, then that you're doing something wrong, right? You're not going to grow. It's going to take a long time.
So you already have an agent on your 4th level or your 3rd level?
Third level.
So what's interesting too, that I want to point out, we kind of skipped over it, but you said, hey, Veronica is going to head up our sales business. She's going to kind of carry that load, and I'm going to take a little bit of a step back. You're not quitting selling, but you're consciously saying, I'm going to potentially give up a couple sales over here so that I can build this over here. And that's important. People who, top producers, teams, average producers, whoever, like the people that don't build this are the ones that don't consciously make a decision to say, hey, I'm going to give up this so I can get this. Mm-hmm. And that's important. And you're invested. I mean, you got the EXP logo behind you on the wall in your cool office that you guys got and renovated.
Oh, yeah. I got EXP tattoo up in here.
There's some people that have them.
But it's easy to support a company that everything makes sense.
Yeah.
This is what I always say to people that are interested. It's easy to push this product because it's the best one. We've been doing the heavy lifting for so long. This is the best company, so it's easy.
And you went all in. It's like EXP is great, but if you don't go all in and make it happen, then
you have to, right?
You're going to watch all your friends just take advantage of the opportunity. Right. So cool, man. So talk a little bit about the future. Like, let's look.
I'm excited.
3 years out, 5 years out. Like, how much money and residual income would you like to be earning? How big would you like your organization to be?
3 years. 3 years, 960 agents, 65,000 a month. That's where we're going to be. Maybe sooner. That's where we're going. Okay,
dude.
We did the wealth chart. We did everything. Like you said, we're drinking the Kool-Aid. That's what we're doing.
The blue Kool-Aid.
That's it, man. That's it. Yeah, no,
that's good.
And what's in the future? We're heavy into like direct. Pick up the phone, call the agent. We're starting to get into the social space, the platforms, just to attract agents outside. So we're going through that process right now. Anyhow, we're excited about that too. That's what we're excited about.
And talk a little bit about the 2-10-40. Like, this is something that you've embraced. You've implemented it in your attraction efforts. Talk a little bit about that. Like how long have you been doing it for? And what have you seen is working? What do you think you could improve on? Just some overall thoughts around that. And for those of you that don't know, that's awesome. 2 agents a day, 10 a week, 40 a month. That's kind of like if you're running at a very fast pace, you're talking to 10 agents a week. So how long have you been doing that for? Let's start there.
So day one, I started. Yeah, well, day one, I did the 100 list, I should say. But through that first, I would say 30 to 40 days, I was getting different results, meaning I would call somebody, I'd send them the email and or the text message, open it up in the email, watch the video, and that call it and confirm it didn't work because they never even opened it, right? So I went through growth, and now what worked for me might not work for everybody, but what I do that I found that was most effective is I'm going to confirm with somebody that they're going to watch it with me on Zoom. So that somebody else said this on the video, helped me as well better understand the model. Every time I would watch it, I got better. I learned more faster, right? So for me, that's the best thing that's worked for me. I do have a CRM that I follow up. I don't use CRM Grow. I use Mojo, and I'm transitioning everything over to KV Core. But if you don't have that, that's probably step one. Get all your 100 lists in the CRM and just, I follow up every week, and the system teaches you, or Brent has taught, send out items of value every 2 weeks or every week, whatever it is, right? So it's constantly following up as well.
So people are probably wondering, like, what are you sending out? Like, what are you doing to follow up? I think that's where a lot of agents get stuck.
The company, well, John Mycash teaches the company is going to send out these announcements. So every time an agent growth 68,000, great. Screenshot it, share it on social media, text it to somebody. We're growing, or the stock itself. Look at this, we're making more money, right? Or I even do like prospecting techniques, how Veronica and I find business. So I'm doing a screen share, I record it, and I say, hey, you want some more listings? This is how you do it, right?
That's awesome.
And then I invite them to lunch and learns, and we do script practices there every Wednesday. So we're doing a lot of different things that are eventually leading up to a better
adding value.
You got it.
You know, listen to this guy talk. He's like, I learned this from AJ. I learned this from Lars. I learned this from John. I learned this from Brent. Like, that's the key. You know, I've listened to the presentation a million times, so I can say the same things or make it my own and say it when I'm having a conversation. You're just like immersed in it.
Yeah.
That's important. So you said you've been doing the 21040 since you joined. It's been 5 months. That's 200 agents. Would you say you've really talked to 200, or would you say it's a little bit less?
I'd probably say a little bit less, but I also practice my communication skills often, right? So I'm much more effective the more I learn about the company. Now I know history and background of the owner himself. So educate yourself better on the company and the guy that created this. I saw that interview that you interviewed him in Puerto Rico. That was awesome for me. At this stage of my career with EXP, this was very important for me to watch. It was great.
Yeah.
You did a great job.
That's good, man. Me too, dude. Like, I go to YouTube and I just type in EXP Realty and I'll go through the new YouTube videos because there's so many going up nowadays. And if it's one that catches my eye, I watch it. I may not even know the person, but I want to see how they're explaining it. Like, what could I use to get better? So I want to do the math real quick because I always say
numbers guy. Love it.
Yeah. worst case scenario, you'll get a 5% conversion rate is what I always say when you're doing the 21040. Because if you're really doing a 21040 over time, you're going to have to start talking to agents that you don't already know. You know, that could be somebody that came into your open house. You never had a conversation with them. They just came into your open house. Well, that's now a relationship. It's not a solid relationship, but you've talked to them. Now you can share EXP, or it's a Facebook friend and you start some dialogue, whatever it is. You'll start going out of your top 100 list. And that's what you've done. So I say when you do that, worst case scenario should be a 5% conversion rate. So got my calculator. We'll do 200. So he's recruited 10 agents divided by 200. 0.05%, or that's 5% is what that is. The number is 0.05, but it's 5%. So your conversion rate, and you said probably a little less, and I would guess it's probably a little less too, just because, you know, from day one, you're trying to figure out, you know, how do I even get into EXP world and that kind of stuff. So you're probably a little in the weeds and may have not hit 10 your first couple of weeks. So, but even if you hit 10 every single week since you've been here, your conversion rate's 5%. Like, that's amazing. Like, that's duplicatable. You now know you've proven it to yourself. And if you continue to share this story to your organization, you can say with confidence, the 21040 will get you at least 5%. And if you do the 21040, you know, because 40 times 5% is, what's that, 2? Yeah, that's 2. So you know you can get 2 a month.
Yeah.
And to be a top attractor, when a top, we're talking potentially hundreds of thousands of dollars a year in rev share, maybe 7 figures, who knows? But that's what it takes, 2 a month, and you're doing that. That's pretty cool.
You got me fired up. I'm ready to call right now. Let's call.
That'd be fun to do sometime. Start calling agents live on Zoom. I'm sure everyone would love that. And then we'd get one of the agents, they'd join Game Changers Nation. They'd be like, "Oh, you recorded the call. What's that all about?"
All right.
That's what's funny. Like, I think about that sometimes. Like, we have a process, you know, pique their curiosity, present the opportunity, pass the three-way call. Like once people go through that process and then they join EXP and they see that's exactly what we teach and say over and over, they probably are like, wow, that's exactly what happened to me.
I'm glad you brought that up, because you have to be aware of what you know, if it's not working out, you got to ask yourself, okay, why isn't it working out? Other people have done this before. So what am I doing wrong here? Because I reached out to you. I said, you know what? I'm having issues right here. This is it specifically for me at this point. You know, we went through something specific to me. So everybody has to ask themselves and be real with yourself, is if it's not working, why isn't it working? Am I reaching out enough? Am I contacting? Am I following up? Do I have a CRM? whatever it is. It's not the system. It's right here, right?
Yeah. It's the man in the mirror.
That's it, my man.
That's it. That's our biggest competition every single day is the man or the woman in the mirror, because it's just a simple business. It's funny, you know, it's like selling 70 homes a year is so much work, and there's so much that goes into it. You know, you got to prospect, you got to find the client, then you got to convert the client to either a buyer or a seller. Then you actually got to find them a house, you got to sell them a house. And then once it's under contract, you got to negotiate repairs, you got to get it to appraise, you got to do all these things. And then it might fall apart, the deal falls apart, and you got to do it all over just for one sale. I'm like, there's so much that goes into it. And with agent attraction, it's like, dude, all you got to do is get 2 agents a month to say, yeah, sure, I'll join EXP. Then once they join EXP, add them to Game Changers Nation and say, hey, you said that you wanted to build your real estate business. Lars on Tuesdays teaches that. Hey, you said agent attraction was important to you. John on Wednesdays teaches that. Like, you just plug them into what we already have, and that's it. Like, it's so crazy how simple this is.
This is why the company works. The company works because not one person can't be available 24 hours a day to train, to teach, to support. There's no way. This company figured it out. Right?
Yeah,
so it
cool.
definitely works. It's awesome. It's awesome. Yeah, you're right.
Cool. So 3 years from now, all right, so we're looking 2022, 2023, 2024. So is it by the end of 2024, you'll have 960 agents and $65,000 a month in rev share?
That's it. I declare it. Boom.
All right, man. That's pretty good.
There. We're headed there, man.
So 3 years from now, where are you living? Are you
what did Veronica say to you? Well, we're moving, but we live in Peabody, Massachusetts. If anybody's around, feel free to stop by here. But Veronica said to you, show me the money.
Yeah.
Show me, remember that on the first Zoom call or the second Zoom call? I want to see that you're making this, AJ, because we know that we knew that you have that experience in real estate. We saw you on social media. So success leaves clues. Show me that you made this money and I'm in. So we bought all into the system and we followed your path. That's it. So we're grateful for that.
That's awesome.
Should have fucking invited us 3 years ago. What the fuck?
Yeah, you know.
No, I'm grateful I'm here.
I'm not the best attractor there is, man. Like, follow up. I'm good sometimes, follow up, sometimes I'm not, you know, like sometimes success becomes the enemy of future success. And when you're making 6 figures a month, it's kind of like maybe you're not as hungry as you once were.
I think I saw Brett. Brett said the same thing. It's like, so, you know, comfortable life. That's where we're headed, right?
Yeah, I was voxing with Lars earlier today, and he said, you know, one of the things I'm working through, I'm sure he won't mind me sharing this. And if you do mind, Lars, I'm sorry. It's really personal. But it's the same thing that I go through, and I think everybody goes through it. I think even if you're an agent selling 70 homes a month, like not a month, but a year, 70 homes a year, like all your necessities are paid for. You got a good lifestyle. You're buying a new home. Like there's not much pain there. There's not a lot of financial pain that a successful realtor has unless they're not seeing their kids and all that kind of stuff. But financially, they're doing well. So it's like when you get to a certain point and you're making great money, it's like, how do I continue to play at a high level when the pain is no longer there? And that's the key to this. And that's something that I have to continue to work through. And I'd say every top performer, unless you're just crazy like Elon Musk, where you're still sleeping under your desk when you're a billionaire, like that guy's just wired different. Most people, when they hit a certain level of success, they're kind of like, hey, I made it. How do I continue to go after it? And because pain's the best driver, man. Like when you have pain, like when you got to make it happen, like when me and you got started in real estate, like, 10 years ago, and you were just getting started shortly after that. Like we had pain, man. It was like, we're not making any freaking money.
Right.
We're broke.
Exactly. Right. Where the fuck is the money?
To go out and work when you're broke.
That's interesting. You're talking about that. Yeah. Cause that's exactly where, we obviously will be eventually. Right. So I appreciate that, dude.
Well, cool, man. So let's leave it on this. So what's like just one piece of advice that you'd give to somebody who's looking to either start their attraction journey or just reignite that passion they had for attraction when they first joined, but they've been here a year, 2 years, and they haven't done anything? Like what's advice for somebody to start on their attraction journey?
Watch the videos. Game Changers has the guide section. And I didn't know when I first started where to start, but I knew who to contact. I called you. Hey, Where do I go? What do I do? I plugged into the guides, and I was specifically looking for rev share. So train me on that. So I watched every single video, and I watched it again. And I can't even tell you how many times I watched it already with Veronica and me. And I have that special connection with Veronica. Obviously, we're married, so we talk about it even more. So anyhow, do the trainings, do the work. That's it. Do the work, and then eventually you just take that leap of faith and make those calls, and that's it.
That's so good. Do the work, watch the trainings, and that's so important, and that duplicates, like you said, people can't be available 24/7, and even if we could, it doesn't duplicate. So it's always, get your people to know where to go in Game Changers Nation to get the resources, and then after they consume some of the resources, then help them. Because if you're trying to help an organization of 100 people one-on-one, it doesn't duplicate. It just does not duplicate. So get them plugged into Game Changers Nation, get them watching the trainings, the guide section, the file section, like just review the file section, know what's in there, review the guide section, know what's in there. And yeah, man, we got this thing going. So it's fun.
I'm excited.
Cool, man. Well, I appreciate your time.
I appreciate you, brother.
Hello, and happy birthday from me.
Yep.
And yeah, man, I'm excited to just continue this journey with you, dude. We'll be, remind me, do you guys ski or snowboard?
Veronica skis. I like to say that I like to watch Veronica ski because I don't ski, bro. I'm like, she wants me to be an avid skier, and I'm like, I don't know if that's gonna happen, baby. But anyway,
like, I'm not interested in that.
Yeah, she's awesome. She's great. But yeah, you want to do something up? We'll plan something up.
Yeah, she can hit the slopes, and then you can hang out at dinner.
I'll be your biggest cheerleader. Trust me.
Cool, man.
All right, buddy.
See you, buddy.
Love you, man. See ya.